Coronavirus cases have plummeted by as much as 77% over the past 6 weeks. Now, this expert, I believe his name is Marty Makary. He's a professor at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and the Bloomberg School of Public Health. He recently came out with an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal, basically saying that we'll have herd immunity by April of this year. Okay? So the reason he thinks that is because, first off, cases have dropped by 77% in the past 6 weeks. That's tremendous news, and it's amazing that we're not hearing about it more. Of course,
yeah.
It wasn't until we've known that the cases were dropping for, days, probably a couple weeks. We've seen it's been tremendous, and yet it wasn't until Makary put out this piece with the Wall Street Journal that people are really talking about it. And so he thinks that it's due to, first off, the vaccinations are getting out there. But second off, there is the natural immunity being built up within the American community is incredibly prevalent.
It wasn't the inauguration of Joe Biden that cured the nation, are we sure?
No, not so much.
We've confirmed that it's not.
Yeah. But Makary says that, and, his name might not be pronounced Makary. Sounds cool, so I'm going to go with that. But he says that according to his findings, about 55% of Americans have natural immunity to COVID already. Mm-hmm. And so, why is this? Why haven't, doctors and other medical experts been talking about this? And so what Makary says is that in my own conversations with medical experts, I have noticed that they too often dismiss natural immunity, arguing that we don't have data. The data certainly doesn't fit the classic randomized controlled trial model of the old guard medical establishment. There's no control groups, but the observational data is compelling. And so basically the argument he makes is that we have antibody testing, but there's another type of immune response that bodies can have to viruses like COVID, and that's with T cells and memory cells, where basically they can remember the virus. And he cites a case that someone who had the Spanish flu about 80 years later, several decades later, his T cells remembered that and were able to fight against it at that point, this random patient, whoever he was referring to. So T cell immunity is a huge deal, but it's hard to test for. And the old guard medical establishment just says, let's just not count on that because we don't know. But obviously, according to Makary, you can see the results. And we know, 77% of cases are down. This is happening. And it seems to me that our trust in this specific group of medical experts, we've put all of our trust into them because of the left-wing narratives and because of the establishment media. And it seems like they're letting us down. It seems like they all have kind of these same blind spots. Mm-hmm. And when we don't let other types of experts join in on the conversation, when we say, you're not qualified, you can't join in, it's going to lead to more COVID deaths. It's going to lead to just a lot of horrors that could have been prevented. And, another part of this section I wanted to go over before I bring this to you guys is Makary went on to say, I have argued for months that we could save more American lives if those with prior COVID-19 infections forego vaccines until all vulnerable seniors get their first dose. Mm-hmm. Several studies demonstrate that natural immunity should protect those who had COVID-19 until more vaccines are available. Half my friends in the medical community told me, good idea. The other half said there isn't enough data on natural immunity, despite the fact that reinfections have occurred in less than 1% of people. And when they do occur, the cases are mild. So do you guys think that we've put way too much trust in this small section of the medical community?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think that there have been multiple people that have come out and spoken against the kind of the old standby when it comes to how to deal with the coronavirus. There have been so many great sources of information, health experts, doctors, even people at the CDC that have been saying, we are ready to reopen things. We are ready to get out of lockdown. We are ready to move forward from this. And for some reason, there's this tight-knit group of people in the medical community that are still saying, no, absolutely no. We have to wear masks for the next 10 years,
No, amid this pandemic, we have seen the kind of play out before us what is going to happen with kind of the censorship that we talked about in the first segment and the cancel culture that we've talked about in the first segment, is that the entire idea of science was to have a bunch of thinkers and like people who are analytical actually interpret data and look and observe things and come to different conclusions and repeatedly test those conclusions over and over again, understanding that they might be wrong. The entire concept of science is the idea that you should always be looking to falsify or not falsify. You can't prove anything. Unfortunately, we've hit a point where because the society only wants consensus building in the culture, it seems as though the science also only wants consensus building. We've talked with environmental science about how, 99% of scientists agree. 99% of experts say, as we like to say on this show, experts say means nothing. And what was known in science yesterday can always change for a very long time. There was, an Earth-centric theory that, all the planets rotated around the Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
On one single day in history, everything changed, and all the planets were known to rotate around the sun. So this idea that we need to be consensus building in the scientific community is foolish. In fact, we should be looking at every weakness, and the scientists that are in charge and that have come to these consensuses should be opening up their research and their conversations to every attempt to falsify them that they possibly can, because we will have better health outcomes in that way.